Hi there, welcome to Single Dads Unplugged. This is season 5 and I'm your host, Mr. Parati. We are all about building bonds and breaking stereotypes. And welcome to our episode. I'd like to introduce my next guest today, Mr. Thulani Kunene, and welcome, my brother. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Great, thank you so much for making all the way to our studio. And we've been planning this for how long now? More than a month or two?
It's more than 3 months.
More than 3 months.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and you are one of the highlights for this season because of the work that you do and the things that you do around supporting men, especially men that are coming out of separation. But let me not introduce that on your behalf. And I would like you to tell us and our viewers about the work that you do and how you get associated with the Single Dads Network.
Oh, okay. My name is Thulani. My company name is Thulani Mediation.
Thulani Mediation, okay.
It's always two sides to the story, but this name came from my childhood. A nickname when we were playing soccer. Started from Oturand to Thulani.
Now I get it.
From
yes.
Thulani. But I am a family law mediator with the courts, and in private practice, I'm associated with the Benoni courts.
Oh, Benoni courts.
Yes,
okay.
I work in the children's court and in the DV court.
Oh, what's a DV court?
Domestic violence.
Oh, domestic.
And divorce as well.
Oh, as well. Okay.
So, yeah. So as family law mediators, we are an alternative to litigation.
Okay.
So let's start with maybe divorce. A lot of people know that when you're divorcing, you need lawyers and you fight it out. Whoever runs out of money first will probably sign.
Will lose out.
Or whoever has a best lawyer will win the case.
Yeah.
And then followed that, the next war is who's taking care of the kids.
Custody.
Yes. As mediators, we start with the divorce. How about we sit down instead of fighting?
Yes.
We understand that the relationship is no longer there.
Yeah.
So let's sit down and separate amicably. At least preserve the relationship for the future.
For the future.
Because if you have kids with someone, you're stuck with that person for the rest of your life.
Definitely, yeah.
It's better to preserve the relationship so that the transition in future is much easier. You still have that communication.
Yeah.
And then followed by co-parenting plan, because that one is extremely...
Very much interested in that one. Yeah, we're going to come
how I can help men.
No, let's start before we talk co-parenting plans and co-parenting itself. Let's start where a man is is separated from the spouse, whether through divorce or maybe they live together, cohabitated, and they were raising kids together, and now they are no longer together because the relationship has failed. How does that work? Before they approach the courts, what is the natural next step that could flow from that when they no longer live together, especially around custody or caregiving for the kids?
So among our black culture, I see there's a huge gap where men decide to just
abdicate the responsibility.
Yeah. Most cases, they think about maintenance.
Oh, okay.
That let's take make a scenario of which is a real life issue.
A real issue, okay.
Some men are not working.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't provide for kids. And you find cases where he says, because I cannot provide, let me rather not. In other cases, some men want to be in their kid's life.
Okay.
But they would say, but you're not maintaining the child.
Yes.
So you don't have access.
You don't have access, yeah.
Then we ask ourselves, is this child DSTV?
It's like if I don't pay subscription, I can't view.
You see. So this child is not DSTV.
It's a human being.
It's a human being. But when we look at the Children's Act puts it in the opposite way. You're not denying dad the rights to the child. You're in fact denying the child the rights
to his dad.
But we also have another issue as black people, customs and traditions.
Yes.
Where if ungahlawulanga,
yes, in Tlawulo, yeah.
They will say you don't have.
You can't have
the
access.
Child is not yours.
Wow.
Until
Pay damage.
Yes. but the children acts as well sets aside the customs and traditions.
It's secondary to the law.
Yes. So you still need
access to you
to his dad or her dad.
So you and I discussed this the other day. I remember we were in Rosebank. We said the law of the land is supreme to the traditions or the customs. It's not the other way around. So we have to apply the law first before we consider our traditions and our customs. And educate us there, because you can't approach a court using customs and traditions. It's not recognized. Is that right?
Those are
you've got nothing to defend.
A short story.
Yeah, go ahead.
We did a mediation session in Pretoria.
Yeah,
not Pretoria. I mean Protea Magistrate Court in Soweto, where this boy screwed up, and I like him.
Okay.
He screwed up. He was fighting for access to his child.
To his child, okay.
But prior to that, it's another big story how they ended up separating.
Oh, okay.
But let's look at this particular one. He's from Malawi.
Okay.
He got to South Africa to study.
Oh, okay.
He falls in love with this young girl.
Local girl.
Yes.
Okay.
They, start dating. Pregnancy was not planned.
Oh,
but it happened.
Child happened.
Yeah. So the girl, to continue studying at UJ, she then leaves the child with her mother, Ugogo.
Oh, Ugogo.
Yes.
Okay.
She knows the customs in South Africa. If this one hasn't paid in Tlaulo, then the child belongs to. And Ugogo believe that.
Believe that, yeah.
These young kids never discuss the issues of religion.
Okay.
So what happened now is Ugogo is a Catholic. She takes the child Christian. To baptism.
Baptized.
Without even telling both of them.
Wow.
So now the young lady puts the pictures on Facebook.
Oh, of baptism?
Yes, of baptism.
Okay.
That's when this young man sees.
The father discovered.
Yes. And he was really upset because he says, how dare you take my child for baptism
without my knowledge?
I don't believe in Christianity.
He doesn't believe in it.
Whatsoever. So their relationship broke because of that. But
and that was an issue for the dad.
Yes. But on this issue now, they are there together. The lady say, but customs and traditions says.
Okay.
So, and she was saying, Ugogo doesn't want him until he pays in Tlaulo.
But will not recognize the father.
She didn't even want. But Ugogo also had the issue with he damages my child was supposed to. Okay. So there was that from where I'm standing. So we had to now, because the lady respected Umamak. She was like, the leader.
Yes.
So we had to call Ugogo to court on the next session.
Wow.
Ugogo came. We told Ugogo, customs and traditions are set aside. In within the Children's Act. She was so angry. As she was working out there, she was saying all these negative
all kinds of
ways,
things.
Angry. But what's nice, the boy has access to his child.
Yes, that's the main thing. Or the child has access to the dad. Yeah.
But that's what I advocate for. A lot of men will let this situation go. And I've seen a lot of
and hide behind tradition.
Not even behind tradition. Most men think that if you go to court, you are fighting a losing battle. Automatically, the court will support the mother. Okay, it's not the case. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
I work within the courts. I've had
and it's not the case.
I've had cases where the lady wanted more maintenance, more money.
Yeah,
and she came out there.
Even worse.
The whole thing she was asking for, she was crying, saying that this one is a funny one. She was advised by a friend, because he's paying, ask for more.
Ask for more. Go to the court.
Yes.
Yeah.
They went to the court. The matter was
reduced.
Mediation. We had to reduce the money and give the child, give the father more access.
Access, okay.
So he doesn't need to pay more. Because he spends almost more time with the child. He was extremely happy.
Of course, he would have.
But
yeah.
The lady was, and when I saw her sitting on the outside on those,
and she can't reverse the process
because we ask Uguti, what's your contribution?
Yes, what are you contributing? Yeah.
Both parents must contribute.
No, actually, you must open a separate bank account. Both of you must contribute.
There's ways because they are no longer together.
Oh, okay.
So you open a bank account on the child's name.
Child's name.
You put it there.
Both of you.
Yes.
And she was not contributing.
Her contribution was being a mother, and the man was contesting that she's not even a good mother.
So
because she went to a Peshweni for 6 months.
Oh, a Peshweni, okay.
And the kids were left
alone,
and he couldn't have access to take care of his child because they had this court order that he only has access for second weekend in a month.
And that is not sufficient.
And she was away.
I'm going to talk later, Thulani, about financial contribution because there's a lot of single mothers that follow our channel and that contribute to our channel, ask questions. And again, I want to run a different show with you talking about financial contribution. But let's go back to where they separate. So do you help them in terms of defining or determining the parental care of kids before they approach the courts, whether they were married or not? How do they approach a practice in terms of deciding who's going to stay full-time with the kids, or how the parenting arrangement, co-parenting arrangement would work?
The challenge is that most people don't know about mediation as an alternative.
Okay.
The first thing that people do is to go to court. Or others will just fight it. We were talking about the slicing part.
Yes.
The individual who said, by 10 year one ngaba slice. It is a joke, but I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And I advocate for men like that. He was fighting for the access to the kids. He was denied. It's all these cases that are out there. He's one, but there's plenty
others
who don't have access. It's just that the method that he used was with the guns and
it is a bit too much.
But with those who are now away, because I'm starting to pick up now.
Sure.
I was sitting with another couple yesterday. Those who are aware, I'm an advocate for mediation.
Sure.
If people are not having common ground, find a mediator who will help you find.
Who's going to help you find common ground.
And we don't need to fight.
And
the one thing that I don't want to say, but compare mediation and litigation, the cost.
And the costs, yeah. And you and I were talking about this the other day.
So,
and a lot of people want to jump this mediation step when it's actually affordable and it's a natural, reasonable process to go through.
Yes.
How do we educate society about it?
I just need to talk about it as much as I can.
Like you're doing
now.
But
there's also now the other thing. Some people would say we've had a mediator in the past through divorce.
Yes.
But there's also the cultural thing. I may not be a good mediator for a Botha and a Van der Merwe who are discussing who are divorcing because I'm not within their culture. But come back to our culture.
To our black community.
I understand the culture, the power dynamics as well. I had another case in court where the matter was given to a young lady who was starting. But this is an older man who would say,
you are too young.
You're too young.
Tell me.
But then they put me as a man
in the middle of this.
Can listen to another man.
Another man, yeah.
So there's those dynamics
it makes sense.
We cannot, ignore.
Ignore, yeah. But between the two of them, an older dad and or boyfriend or spouse is not gonna maybe interact nicely with the younger girl.
You see.
Yeah, so you understand those things.
I understand those things. I've been married 23 years.
Sure.
And I understand.
You understand those dynamics.
Those dynamics as well. And when you look at our culture, how power dynamics works as well.
Yes.
I can read the room. I can already tell or the power here lies here. Strong women as well.
Yes.
You can tell as soon as they sit down.
Overpower, maybe.
You can already tell, the power lies this side instead of this side.
During mediation process, would you agree that, and again, the emphasis, especially if the kids are below the age of 18, should always be in the interest of the child?
It's always.
Do you consider income, mental health, the state of the parents? Do you have to look at the individual parents separately, or do you just ask them questions? How does it work? Because you don't have a record of how they've dated and where they come from. How does it work?
So when we let's look at the pro bono project for starters, the one that's run in Benoni.
In Benoni, yeah.
Yes. It states there that if both parties earn 14,000 and less, they do qualify for the pro bono in Benoni that we give
that you provide time to.
Yes, but anyone who earns more than that should contact us privately.
Private, okay.
Of which still our fees are,
Of course, better than the lawyers.
Better than litigation.
Litigation.
But I wouldn't say my colleagues should, because we work hand in hand.
Of course.
There's Section 41A now, in case people don't know. If you are going through litigation, you can apply for Section 41A that pushes the matter to mediation.
To mediation. Yes. Oh, so then you are forced to go through mediation.
Yes. So it helps, to calm things down. But I see certain cases we get this resistance from our colleagues, of which it shouldn't be. If the matter it cannot be resolved through mediation, it still goes back.
It still goes back,
to litigation. But teaching, yes, I need to teach as much as we can.
And raise awareness as much as you can.
Yes.
Various platforms like this one.
Guys, instead of fighting, let's sit down and talk.
Find a way to.
And there's ways. You don't need to be here together.
Of course.
I sit with people
individually, separately,
or online.
Or online.
Because the other guy will say, I cannot stand to be in the same room with her.
They hate one another.
If I'm in the same room, I will choke her.
Wow.
That's how
bad the relationship
the situation is. Then in that case, we go online, or we don't even need to be on the same room.
Then you meet separately.
Online.
Yeah.
I can do this one in this hour, and after this hour, I do this one.
Yeah.
And then I already know what are the interest.
And then you advise.
No, I don't advise.
Yeah.
Then I tailor-made based on what they want, and then I sell it to them.
For them to consider.
Yes. Do I change this? Do I change this? We come up with a solution.
Eventually.
And eventually, the communication as well. And when people are in the same room, they may not say.
But separately.
Separately, he will
willing.
tell me. Mediation, there's this story that that's how I got into this. The mediation thing is started. They say, this father died.
Yeah.
No, not that one. Let me use this other one. As a father, you have two sons.
Yeah.
And you give him an orange.
Yeah.
The boys fight for an orange.
Okay.
And after fighting, the dad says, let me cut it in half and give him half. When they do that, the other boy ate the orange and threw away the peels. The other one took the orange and threw it away and took the peels. So he wanted to send his candles.
I see.
If there was mediation, both boys would have
gone 100%
of what they wanted.
Exactly.
That's where we
come
with
the
mediation, where at the end of the day, because they were never given the platform to talk.
What is it that you look? What do you want to get out?
In most cases, people want different things.
Different things, yeah.
But the platform for talking is not there.
It's not there.
Even with the co-parenting, the other parents doesn't want to stay with the kids for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But he just wants to stay with the kids during school holidays.
School holidays.
School holidays are the most traumatic one. Parents will tell.
Yes.
When it comes to school holidays, you don't know whether the child is also confused. Am I going to dad's place
or
to spend time with the granny from the other side?
Or to the mom.
I'm talking about, because in most cases,
they
only 4% of
dads
will have full custody.
It's mostly
only
with the
4%, yes. But it's mostly women who stays with the child. You find the child is excited to go, but mom is putting the brakes on.
Okay. Maybe they go to Gogo, but not to the dad.
They need to spend time with Gogo.
Because
Gogo is also a person of interest.
Of course.
In fact, the other thing, Gogo can also apply to maintenance. I mean, with children's court to have access to the child. It's not just
Really?
the parent.
Wow.
The uncle as well.
Uncle as well.
Yes, if it's a person of interest.
Wow.
Can
And a
also
person of
apply.
interest is beyond just the two parents.
Yes.
I want to go back to parental care, not parental care, custody. Chapter 3 of the Children's Act talks about reasonable access. You know the story
Yes,
about the Pretoria lady that was sent to prison because
Yes,
she defied court,
Yeah.
defied court order twice. What is reasonable access? Because, this particular case, she was blocking access to the guy.
Yes, and yet they had the agreement.
and then they had the agreement. So do you have to have a written parental agreement to determine reasonable access, or how would you determine it?
I think a written co-parenting plan made to a court order will help everyone.
Is
In
it?
that case, it was
Is that
there.
so?
In that case,
In that
when
case,
she
it was there.
Yes, it was there, and she decided to.
She defied it.
Yes.
She decided not to
That's
respect
why-
it.
That's why she was arrested.
She was arrested.
So it differs with anyone. The other parent just needs 2 weekends in
Or
a
just a
month.
conversation.
2 weekends in a month
Mm.
minimum. You know, some would say, and with that, this can be changed different ways.
Yes.
The other one we had was that he would take the child to school every morning.
Okay. The dead.
The dad.
Okay.
He will transport the child. It's time
Okay.
spent with the child.
While
30
during
minutes.
that time they are
Yes,
bonding.
They
Okay.
are bonding. You know, the child will tell him what's happening, and because in the afternoon he doesn't have. You know,
Because of his work commitment.
Yes.
Okay.
In other cases, you find that he will pick up the child after school and bring the child back, either at school on Monday, drop him off at school Monday,
see, yeah.
or 6:00 Sunday, he drops him off
Yeah.
at mom's place.
Sure.
But there's various. There could be shared
So
custody.
it doesn't have shared custody. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people with shared custody, but so the law does not prescribe to what reasonable access is, as long as the two of you
agree,
have got.
yes.
And again, it should be in the interest of the kids.
Yes.
So where there is disagreement, so what's the first thing to do? If I say my partner, we agreed that every second weekend they come to me, suddenly she wants to ship them away during school holidays to the granny for the whole 3-4 weeks, and I also want a share of them. Where do I go as a first? I mean, where would you advise me to go as a first?
would be
If we disagree, mediation.
mediation is the first bet. But
Okay.
that as well, a lot of ladies are not aware of this,
Okay,
and it can lead to jail time.
really?
Cannot take kids outside the province without
Oh, I heard about that. Yes.
the
Without the consent
of the other parent
of the other parent outside the province.
outside the province. And we're living here in Gauteng.
Gee.
Yeah?
And we come from all over the place.
Listen to this tricky one. We're living in Gauteng. Yeah?
Yeah.
People go to Harties.
And Hartis is northwest.
Harties is not Gauteng.
Yeah, I know.
So if a dad wants something like trepil,
Oh, then they can take them, and without
and
your
it's a month
consent,
imprisonment, you will
a
have
month,
you
you can be arrested.
you will have a criminal record.
So must it be a written consent or just verbal consent?
Either way.
Either way, okay.
So it's better when it's written. Even
It's
on
written,
WhatsApp,
even WhatsApp, because
because
it's evidence.
Yes.
Okay, I'm taking, like me, I'm from KZN, my boy is in Gauteng.
Yeah.
So every time I take him home, the mother must consent, obviously.
Yeah.
And if she
But
says,
if she says no,
if
but
she-
based on what?
Based on what,
You know,
Yeah.
I always say it's better to have this. WhatsApp is a very good tool.
beautiful, keep your
Because
messages.
Keep
yeah.
your messages. If she refuses or the dad refuses for
Whatever reason.
for a reason that doesn't matter,
Yeah.
unreasonable, then you can prove that
You can
but
challenge
he was, he was unreasonable.
Yeah, he was
tried,
just
and
spiteful or
yes.
something.
At the end of the day, it's the best interest of the child. So, for example, let me use a case where, say the lady is married
Okay.
with a new husband, and there's this child that she shares with the previous husband, and they are going away as a family
Okay.
to either Durban as a holiday.
Sure.
So now she still needs to ask the previous
other parent
for permission. But because this one is still angry,
okay,
he just refuses.
He just refuses. Says no, you can't.
For
just
no
to be spiteful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all cases like that.
So you can challenge
the child will lose out
the holiday
because holidays are a memorable,
absolutely,
stories that builds the child. And when you do that, you're denying the child that
an opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah. For the experience. So let's go back. So if I'm thinking about this. So in the situation where you separate, and then I'm sure you've given counsel to partners, they go separation. If they don't want to approach the court around custody or primary caregiving, what criteria do you use as an advisor to determine custody, or whether shared or otherwise?
We look at the best interest.
Mm-hmm.
So who has more stability?
Okay.
I may not give custody to someone where I can say,
there's going to be problems.
The child doesn't have a proper sleeping area. It doesn't have a proper table to do his homework and study. There is no structure and all of those things. We look at the end of the day, the best interest
for the child.
If this side is stability,
whether male or female, it doesn't matter.
If this side there's stability, let's give more time there. And the other one has access.
Because the child will benefit from it.
Yes.
And this guy, and I was shooting season 3 of Single Dads Network, and this guy said to me, I've spent 4 years of my life after divorce convincing the courts that the mother has got no financial stability and mental stability to raise the kids. Is raising 2 boys. And the courts were at pains trying to find evidence that the mother was not financially stable, and I think she had bipolar or something like that. And again, that was affecting how she was raising the kids. And at 4 years, and again, his mentality was that yes, the courts will always favor the mother, but in this particular case, the mother was not, and the mother was saying, "I'm okay." So he had to find a lawyer to produce evidence. Do you see that a lot, where you really have to prove that the mother, especially if it's the mother that's not financially stable?
So there's other avenues. The social workers.
Oh, yes.
They can write a report based on the case.
After the assessment.
Yes. They can do that.
Okay.
We have the children's advocate.
Yeah.
Who can also make a report.
Document and say, based on our assessment.
Yes. I did have a case and that case was towards the end. They were trying to amend. Because that was the both us. In court where the lady didn't have access because of her bipolar.
And her mental state.
And she had to prove to the court that I've gone through so many, therapies, and I'm taking this medication, but I miss my kids.
I miss my kids.
And I now understand how much damage I have caused. When it comes to the courts, the sad part is that not all the courts have mediators. There's few of us. And you must understand that the courts are burdened with a lot of cases.
And the volume of cases is amazing.
You would realize that when I go to Benoni to give back this pro bono project, you find that I'm sitting with 16 cases on a day. So those people who qualify for pro bono will only come once a month.
Once a month.
Some may not have access
this is like
to me.
Pro bono advice.
Pro bono mediation. Yes. Some may not have access to me because one case can take 2 hours, some can take 5 hours.
5 hours.
So if there's 16 cases waiting there,
Yeah.
and I need to find resolution.
And you need to finalize all of them.
And you need to build a rapport. People may not just open up to a stranger.
Because they also don't know you, of course. They don't
so
know
I need to help them. So you find the
time.
1 hour is gone, me
just building
a rapport so that they trust me.
It's not even content, it's just building a relationship.
So by the time we get to hour 2, that's when we're starting to. But you cannot rush it, because if you rush it, you break it, and then it's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. In my situation, it's not actually about them. It's about that child.
The child.
So I need to do my level best so that at least there's something. Try. Some people don't even want to give it a try. We always say, mediation never fails.
Never fails.
Even if we never got a resolution, but we've planted a seed in those
for them to consider, in those parents,
that there is another alternative
that you could consider.
And I've seen this is a practical example as well, where we started, it never worked out, and then months later.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the first time they were
and introduced. You planted that seed, and
now months later, I says, "Can we go back to that?
Can we talk again?"
At least they came to our senses. So mediation never fails.
Actually, in the Black culture, in our Black communities, do you ever recommend another avenue outside of mediation and outside of the courts, such as speaking to a spiritual father, church person, community leader, another relative, for the two parents to find one another? Do you suggest that?
I think going to people who are untrained is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
For example, going to uncles. They may add fire to the...
Or take sides.
Yeah, or they just put fuel onto the fire.
Issue.
They are not professionals.
Okay.
Churches, yes, but I'm a church person.
Yeah.
But when it comes to divorce, churches don't have support for divorce.
Support. Oh, yes, of course.
Churches
they will push you to belong to each other.
Yes, churches will support marriage counseling.
Yes.
But divorce.
But not divorce.
And in most cases, churches will lose. After divorce, those people, or one of them, may not come back to the church.
They will not be accepted. It's a stigma, yeah.
Because the church says divorce is a sin.
It's a sin, yeah.
But in other cases, divorce is necessary. I've seen cases where I adhere, divorce is necessary.
Absolutely.
But because of the time that I've spent in court, I'm doing I call it marriage success program.
Yes.
People need to start the right way, build a solid foundation. We have a high rate of divorce in South Africa because people marry wrong. Marry for the wrong reason. They were not prepared. And
it dawns on them mid-flight.
Year two.
Year two.
That's where it spikes.
Is it?
Yes. So I've developed...
So early.
It's not early. I've developed this material because I keep on sitting with people who say, but how come we were never told about this?
Oh, wow.
When it comes to a divorce where people are told that pension of is the highest contested
pension, yes.
It needs to be separated into two.
Cut in half.
Cut into half.
When you married in a community of property.
Yeah, okay. But majority of black people are married.
Even they don't know.
Even if they have ANC, they don't know they're married.
They don't know they've got ANC, but
No, even if they have ANC,
they don't know.
They don't know that they're married in communal property. That ANC is not valid.
It's not valid. Oh.
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah, that's another big issue.
And I've seen this guy, he nearly threw the table off.
His pension is going to...
Yes, because he thought he was married out of communal property with an ANC.
With the ANC, yeah.
And when I told him, it's not valid.
Wow.
And my colleague, 5 years down the line, has charged him 12,000 to draft the ANC that is not valid.
And he didn't sign. Why was it not valid?
We'll talk about
Is it a different thing? Okay.
It's a different thing.
No, that's fine. So you don't recommend. So if you do go for counseling, it must be someone you can trust and that is trained.
Don't use uncles.
Yeah.
They are not professionals. Psychologists are also better.
Psychologists.
So if you're going through church, it has to be someone. I am a marriage counselor within the church.
Within the church.
But when I get to such cases, I will use both heads.
Both heads,
you know, to support.
Yeah.
Because I can see, this one is going this way. I need to take off this one and put this
because
one.
you are trained, you know how to do that.
You realize that, okay, divorce is necessary here. So let me help them.
It's the best solution.
But in other cases where people came for divorce, we ended up fixing things and then they don't divorce.
They go back to one
So
another.
you see how mediation works.
So it can actually get people
it does
to get
work. People who were really adamant that we are divorcing.
This is over, yeah.
I said there was two or three cases, yes.
Yeah.
First session we said they were adamant that they were divorcing.
Wow.
When we come back for the next session, in fact the guy says, she phoned while I'm preparing. He says, no, we decided to reconcile.
I like that.
We don't need to.
So you save your paperwork. Yeah, then you've done
on
your
the MSP Marriage Success Program, the training that I'm doing.
Yeah.
If people decide not to get married through that, at the second or third module, I've done my work.
You've done your work, yeah.
If a person realizes that actually
the kids are gonna grow up in a better environment because they've gotten better.
Saves you a lot of money and stress and
a lot of things.
So you married,
you raise your kids together.
Let's say Marriage Success Program is for people who are planning on getting married.
Married.
Yes, it's a premarital.
It's a premarital program. Yeah.
In fact, I initially opened it up for couples who are planning on getting married.
Yes.
The one professor who said, no, don't just limit it to people who are planning on getting married. Open it to everyone who may want to go through that route. So that when the time comes, they already have these tools. With this professor, he bought the program for his daughter.
For his
Instead
daughter.
of buying them a physical gift for the future, he bought them this program.
I like this. What about, Thulani, we're gonna run out of time and I have so many questions. What about the couples that want to have kids but do not want to get married and they don't have kids yet? Do you advise they enter into a parental agreement first, or they have kids first and then decide how they're going to raise them after?
Better. There's also this thing called a cohabitation agreement.
I heard about that, yes.
I think it's better.
You think it's best?
I think it's better because we already have agreement.
But how do you get it signed or done?
Oh, I have the people who can
help.
Yeah.
So
the same people who can do the ANC.
The same people
can do the notary.
I think it's better because you decide we're going to have kids. We've decided we're not going to live together, or we're going to live together, but we're not going to get married, but we're going to have kids. Yeah. So would you recommend that one?
I would recommend that one. In fact, this thing of just making babies
without any agreement.
We all know,
yes,
if you play with this machine, what's going to come out?
Exactly. Why don't you just plan better?
Why don't you plan better? But the other trick on the MSP, we talk about natural ways of preventing pregnancy.
Pregnancy, yeah.
There's natural ways. We've used, I'm married now.
Yes.
We've used the morning after pill, and it doesn't work nicely for her for a few days.
For the lady, okay?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they've stopped it now. You need a script.
Oh, okay.
To get
it, yes,
pill, yeah. On that,
and it can be monitored, yeah.
Oh, this natural one, we've tried it for years until
later.
No, like how many men have done vasectomy?
Yeah, no.
Like men?
Oh, no.
That's another topic for another day.
It's another topic. They won't go there.
Yeah, they are going there.
Are they going there?
Yeah.
I hope it's changing, yeah.
The thing is changing.
As we approach the end, how would you advise men, especially, we get approached in the Single Dads Network about young men that are saying, yeah, listen, I impregnated this girl at school or soon after school. I still don't have a job. I want to see my child, and my ex-girlfriend is blocking access. I don't have money. Actually, one guy approached me at the men's conference in April. He said, listen, I don't have money to approach the lawyer My girlfriend lives in Mpumalanga. I live in Joburg. I missed 2 installments of maintenance. I don't have a job. She said, then don't talk to me about seeing the boy because you don't work.
So
what is the avenue for that young man?
The nice thing is that we don't pay to go and report the matter to the children's court.
Okay, it's free of charge.
In that case, he needs to go to Mpumalanga because that's where
that's what he said.
Stays. He just needs to make means to go and
and raise the matter there.
Yes, that's where the child stays. If the children's court works where the child stays. If
the child.
Yes. So also let's open this channel of talking.
Okay.
It's not about you as a parent.
Yes.
It's about the child. And I understand that in South Africa we have angry people, angry mothers, angry fathers, and we'll talk about why are we in this society. Why are we in this
situation?
Yes. I was educated by when I was doing my exam, the final exam with this mediation, it was a judge from the children's court who said, it's unfortunate because there's only one black man in this room. And I'm tasking you to go and change this narrative. South Africa is battling with high crime rate among black culture, black community, and it's affecting everyone now. It's affecting in such a way that
it's a societal.
It was planned. It was planned. But now impact. It has gone out of order in such a way that investment companies are not coming to South Africa because of the high crime rate.
High crime rate. It's a societal issue now.
But it was planned. It can be changed.
It can be changed.
But I'm the only one who understands. I'm not the only one. But I need the platform to talk. Why are we having this situation? As soon as people realize why certain things happen, it's easier for them to change their mind.
Oh, yes, I understand. Yeah, I'm with you.
So, what was the question again?
So the boy, so what can the boy do?
The court.
So he needs to go to Mpumalanga to raise.
The courts never charge people.
And family advocates are provided by government, right?
Yes. So you don't always need to pay. Even that story of the boy who was angry, Guti Umtanak was baptized by Ukoko.
Oh, yes.
He's just a student.
He's a student.
He's a student, but he approached the court.
Yes,
he had to approach the Protea magistrate.
It's just a bit of admin, but it's available.
And the fact that how long it will take now with the courts.
Yeah.
It may take long.
It may take long.
Yes, those who have money then can submit an agent application.
Yeah. But mediation, although the volumes are high, but it's a much more
high at the courts.
At the courts.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because but you can still approach private practices.
You can approach me privately.
Privately to mediate. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Before we close, can I just say
go ahead.
On the 10th of November, we're running a workshop.
Oh, yes. I wanted you to talk about that.
A workshop on how co-parenting can help the society. We have dads who don't have access to their kids. We have mothers who are battling with dads coming to visit their kids. And all of these things. We will be talking about that. Not just talking about, I'll be sharing practical solutions on how to get this co-parenting thing to work.
Yes.
I'll be also hosting Untate Jerry Macheta and his wife, who Mam Claudine, who's always on radio talking about marriage issues. So they will be my guest. We'll be at Agape Church, 177 Kruger Road in Midrand.
Yes.
But people can look at my socials.
And we will provide information as well on our channel.
Tickets at... you can get the link.
We can get. Oh, that's great. Yeah, especially those of you watching and following our channel. We're going to post this on our socials as well as on our YouTube channel. Mr. Kunene is running that intervention, especially those Single Dads that follow our channel that are co-parents. And please tune in and sign up for that event because I think it's going to be great. And it's around the 10th of November?
10th of November.
And
it's
then
on a Sunday.
Sunday, okay, that's great.
The time that Mr. Machete is available.
That is available.
But we've also realized that Sunday afternoon, people have time.
Yes.
They're not at church.
Yes, yeah.
And this is a matter that needs
definitely
people to really think. Yeah. We're approaching school holidays again. Yes. It will be a fight again.
It will be a fight again. as to where the kids go and for how long.
So if we have solutions, the solution can be tailored for a year. If it works, we can change it.
And then you revise it.
Yes, and it keeps on. But there's another problem.
Yeah, which is?
People are relocating outside South Africa.
Or outside the country.
It's a huge problem.
With the kids.
So
are they
if
living
one
with
parents get an opportunity to go and work in another
overseas.
country, whereas they're co-parenting,
and what happens to the kids?
what happens to the kids?
Does it require consent? I would imagine,
It
of course.
requires, but where are you going?
Why or not where?
Because certain countries don't fall within the Hague Convention, where the South African laws are recognized. You let the child go to another country, and the child may never come back because you may not enforce the South African laws
so they can't.
in that country.
So
a lot of South Africans are going to where? Australia, and Australia doesn't give a damn about South Africa. They don't fall within the Hague Convention.
Yeah.
So you
and
go there,
parents don't know this.
They don't know.
So you can't approach a South African court and say, "Go get my kids back."
No.
In those countries.
No, you don't have a treaty with.
You don't have a treaty with them.
Yeah. There's a list of
and
countries
that's another education.
So you've lost your child. If he or she decides not to
find citizenship there and never come back, and that's it. Yeah, that's friends and colleagues, people joining us, and because we don't have time now, we're gonna ask Thulani to come back, and there's a topic around co-parenting that we need to expand on, but there's also a topic around legal issues that I'd like you to touch on again. And those of you that are joining us on the 16th at the Empowerment Conference, 16th of November, come in because Thulani is going to be there, and we've got a dad and child boot camp on the 30th of November 2024, and he's going to be giving a workshop on these topics, and I hope you plug in and join us at that time. My friend, this was nice, and
thank you so much.
And there's so much to explore, and I'm going to join. I think on the 10th I'm going to really come and I want to listen to your talk and to your workshop. I look forward to it. Thanks, my brother.
Cheers.
This was awesome.